Yeah.
Talk to mom. We was having conversations about my life and shit. She said, I'm going mad. I need to go to church. She take you to church on this one. God bless.
You are now tuned into the Sober Up podcast with your host, Antoine Osborne and Aaron Rodan. Time to sober up kings and queens. Let's get focused and get your mind right.
Church, need to go to church, cause I ain't living right.
Stay tuned in every Wednesday for a new episode to drop for your listening. Stay sober, family. All love and respect.
Welcome back.
Welcome back, family.
Welcome back to the Sober Up podcast.
It's another Wednesday.
Another Wednesday, season 2, episode 2.
Episode dose.
It's your boy Twan.
It's your boy A Black. What's goody?
We back, man. Back with another one.
Yeah, man. Great episode last week, man.
I thought it was, man. Brought Uncle Jers on, and Jers gave some good pointers, man. Gave some good things that we welcome on the Sober Up podcast. That's what it's about, man. That mindset. He definitely embodied that mindset in the conversation that we had with him, and it was a good conversation, man. I'm glad to have him on, man.
Yeah, appreciate Jers once again for coming out. I mean, this season we just talking to people who, you know, pretty much got their foot on the gas. You know what I mean? They know what they want and they're striving full throttle at it. You know what I mean? That's the energy that you need to be around. That's the networking that you need to do. Being around people who's positive, people who have, you know, a go mode in them.
It's a fact, man. You got to, and he did. He explained a lot of that in that episode.
Yeah. So this episode, what we're gonna do is, and I think with this season, our plan is to just have dialogue after we have people come in, write down some key points of things that they might have said that might mirror what we talked about on season 1 as far as getting that mindset and you know, working on that body, you know, in reference to a car, working on that body work of the car, the engine, making
100%.
sure everything's, you know, ready to go. So what I have is some certain things that I just jotted down.
Certain things that you got from
certain things I got
the episode
from Young Jers.
Yeah.
Young Jers. So
what you got, man?
the main thing, first and foremost, he talked about God. That's something that I kind of heard within the episode. You know, things happen because of God. Things, you know, with a certain way, but God. So I mean, I think that having that, like we said, with our number 1 Sober Up podcast top 10.
Yeah, when we gave those non-negotiables.
Non-negotiables. You know, he had that relationship with a higher power.
He did.
You know what I mean,
and he spoke about that. Yeah. I mean, we grew up.
We grew up like that.
We grew up in the church, and I mean, he definitely explained the importance of having that God, like, pretty much in your life.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, you got to have that God power.
Right. So, you know, he talked about God. He also talked about Mr. and Mrs. Osborne, which is his mother and father.
How my grandparents. Shout out to
kept them on.
It's their anniversary today.
Happy anniversary!
57 years. 57. Man, that's crazy.
It's not happening nowadays. Man.
Crazy. Yeah, me and my wife trying to catch him. We got a little bit now. We got 17 years in. 20 years together, but 17 years in. We on the hills.
Right.
A little far, but we on the hills.
Hey, listen. Well, for this generation, you know what I mean? That's great.
It is. I mean, 17 years. Don't get me wrong. It's not an easy task because you gotta learn each other. You gotta get through obstacles, especially when you have kids. It is trying to get through in this generation now. I don't see things lasting longer than 2 years with people. You gotta put the work in, bro. You gotta put the work in.
Yeah, facts. So, you know, with that being said, he talked about just playing sports.
Yeah.
He said that was one of the things that it kind of kept him grounded.
100%.
So with you knowing that you have a son who plays sports, you had a daughter who played football.
Yep.
You know what I mean? You have a younger son who also plays sports. That's important, right?
It's super huge. I mean, it really sets a foundation and gives structure with the discipline, learning teamwork, learning how to work with different people. I mean, it correlates into your adulthood when you play these sports because you are able to grasp that reality of it's just not a one-man show.
Mhm.
You need somebody to lean on. It's discipline. It's learning from your coaches.
Mhm.
It's getting mentors, you learn a lot of things through sports. So I'm glad George did mention that because that, I mean, we grew up with that. Football was our, I want to say, our bread and butter to come to when it comes to our work ethic
Mhm.
and learning teamwork and learning how to work with people. So
Right.
yeah, no, I think sports and other activities. You just got to really stay active, but
Right.
sports was ours.
Yeah, and
So
I was going to say I did ROTC. I did all type of, you know what I mean, just stuff that they had, you know what I mean, in high school,
hmm
in middle school that kind of just grounded you. You know
yeah,
what I
so you're
mean?
not out here
So you
just
ain't out here
getting
just
into
reckless.
stuff,
Yeah, yeah,
getting
yeah,
into
yeah.
stuff you're not supposed to get into, hanging
Facts.
around with the wrong people that get you. We were able to kind of skate away from that. Like
Right.
we hung around with
Right.
each other. I
Right.
mean, us growing up in
Yeah.
general,
Yeah.
and
It was
with
us.
Jers. Jers was in that same crowd, and that's how my kids do right now.
Right.
My daughter kind of just stays to herself.
Right.
She plays sports. My sons, they play sports, but
Mhm.
they're staying active, and it
Right.
keeps them from getting into the wrong crowds per se. You know
Right.
what I mean?
Right.
Because
Right. Right.
they're going to interact just like we did growing up,
Mhm.
and we were able to stir the right way.
Right.
Hey, we
Right. Right.
made bad decisions. I mean, all little teenagers do,
Yeah. Mhm.
but those sports really help keep that foundation grounded in structure.
Right. Right.
So
And then I bring that up because I mean, I'm sure we have a lot of listeners who are older. So I mean,
yeah,
maybe playing sports might not be something that you should be doing
I
right now.
mean, yeah,
But
even at
you know,
our
going
age, man. I mean, we might be getting in the gym a little bit, but right now,
right,
I ain't
it's
gonna
not
lie,
a yeah, it's not a
it's not my
necessity.
thing.
Yeah, yeah. But for the most part, a lot of y'all have kids. So, you know, with that being said, just to give your kids some type of grounding in the foundation, maybe putting them in sports, giving them an instrument to play, just figuring out what they want to do so that they can kind of see that, you know, if you're for them, then I mean, it might be a good thing. You know what I mean? Being a
Yeah,
positive role model.
it is. It's a lot of stuff, a lot of good stuff that you can get out of that playing sports.
Right.
Being around people, you get to know people more, building those relationships. So yeah, it's definitely Jerry's made a key point in that,
Yeah.
and I mean that showed. I mean that's how he got his name. He played
Play
sports,
sports. Right.
whole bunch of Justins on the team.
Right.
Where you from? He from Jersey. Got him Jersey. You meeting different people,
Right.
and hey, look,
Right.
man, it really created a good environment for
Right.
him. So
Right.
that was
And
good key point he made there.
facts, facts. And then so the next thing I had was that season one we talked about we kind of had that little fake debate about college and working
And going right into the
and going right into
workforce.
the
Yeah.
workforce. It seemed like he kind of did both.
He did. He went
Yeah.
to he spoke about it. He went to Wesley for a little bit. He
Mhm.
played football.
Mhm.
But I mean, he realized that yeah, I'm this is not D1. I'm
Right.
not going to the league.
Right.
So did his little time at Wesley,
Right.
which he spoke on, and then he started getting into other
And
jobs.
the working and stuff. And
Yeah.
that was my thing. My point was to bring up is that even though you might be in a certain situation, that don't mean that you can't still get out there and get your feet wet with something else.
Not at all. It's never too late, man. You just gotta go at it though. Like he even spoke about that. Like he got into these jobs. I want to say he said one was Canada Dry, Red Bull. He worked at Lowe's
Lowe's.
with me for a little bit in another store. But
Mhm.
what he said though, he learned a lot of different business things that he took
Picked
into
up.
his business,
Facts.
which is great. Like you'll learn stuff in school, but not like real life experience doing it, seeing it happen. That's
Mhm.
what happens when you go straight into the job field. And the field that he went into, he learned those business things to
Mhm.
help him be successful in his business right now. So when
Right.
we did have that debate on that episode, I didn't even think about bringing up those points. Like,
Mhm.
yes, college, you'll go get that paperwork and you'll probably learn a lot of different things. But when you go like get hands on real experience, real world experience
Right.
at work in these spots,
Mhm.
you also are learning, but you're learning and getting paid at the same time.
Right. Right.
So
Right.
he definitely spoke on that and saw how that helped. And he didn't really mention how much the business management stuff that he learned at Wesley helped him.
Right.
He said
He
he learned
did
from
learn.
those jobs that he was at.
Right, right.
Like,
And then and another thing that he said while working, you know, staying positive, all that type of stuff
yeah,
kind of opened him up to have other people,
yeah,
you know what I mean, kind of invest in him and you know, him be able to network with people who
in that type of business, like he was
Mhm.
able to network, meet different people
Mhm.
to help him now running a business now. Like
Right.
it really shows you that yes, college is great for a lot of things.
Mhm.
Like we spoke about, if you want to be a doctor, lawyer, certain things like that you have to go to college for.
Mhm.
But especially becoming an entrepreneur, it's not really necessary, man. You can go work and learn how somebody's running a business. You can learn the ins and outs
Mhm.
through that.
Right.
But you really have to be that determined. It running a business and being an entrepreneur are like you have to have the guts for it. You have
Mhm.
to have the heart for it. You have to have the ethic for it because it's all on you at that point when you're
Right.
running the
Right.
business. That you're taking all these ideas from would it be college or a business that you were working at, but you're
Mhm.
taking those and you putting them into your arsenal, becoming your own businessman, running shows, running the ship, and bringing other people on and helping them out. So
Right.
yeah, man, it's definitely an experience to be able to learn where you're at and make money,
Right.
and which I've done pretty much my whole adult life.
Right.
I learned a lot of leadership things. I learned a lot of business things. I
Mhm.
mean, just working, but also I was making money and moving up in the company. So
Right.
it's it's different, and that's what he spoke about on that last episode is that he correlated all those into one and
Mhm.
said, "All right, time to get out this ship,
Mhm.
set it on fire, start my own business, and I'm not looking back."
Right, right. And then he also shout out to Chad. He also said that through his process of growing,
Yeah,
him networking, seeing where everybody else's head was, he was able
100%.
to, kind of bring things out of people that might not even know what they wanted to do, but because he knew what he wanted,
Yeah,
kind of opened up maybe a business mindset in other people. And I think that the networking part is really, really, really
huge.
it's huge.
Yeah,
It's huge. But
huge.
the crazy part is that he was networking even when he was playing football. You
Absolutely.
know what I mean?
I
So it's like
mean,
it's something that you
absolutely. You're on the
networking
field
is
with those
something you always
guys.
do
You're on the field with
with
a
your
bunch of
team.
different personalities.
Right, right,
I'm pretty sure those guys went into. I think a lot of them they go to start some other businesses, but that network he was building while he was on the team
right. Didn't even know it.
didn't even know it.
Yeah,
It's
didn't even know it.
happening. You just got to be able to use it. You
Right.
just got to be able to know that within a network you can build your net worth. So
Mhm.
your network is your
Your
net
net
worth.
worth.
I
Mhm.
mean, we said that. I think that was episode two.
Yeah, season one. Yeah.
Episode two,
Yeah.
season one. I think it was. It might have been episode two, but that was the episode we talked about networking,
Right,
and that's a strong thing that we spoke on.
right,
Your net worth is your network.
right. And another thing that we talked about season one was about mentors. Was about putting yourself in a realm with people who could, you can benefit off of, and vice versa. Still sharpening still. And I know one thing that he said was that he wished he would have
Did it earlier.
did it earlier.
Same here, man. Like
Mhm,
you look at it as, well, I mean, we grow. Those are growing pains that we learn now.
mhm,
But having a mentor at a younger age,
mhm.
it would have been like super clutch for me. In my
Right,
point, I've been in a leadership position since I was 19, but nobody mentored me. I just
just
thought,
right,
hey, I wanted to be a leader
right.
and been a manager since.
Mm,
But if I had a mentor, I probably would be top tier in company right now because they would show me the bumps and bruises that I'm going to take and hey, not to go that route.
right,
I made a lot of dumb mistakes as a manager on my own. Nobody was showing me.
right.
So I mean, you get good experience like that too, but having a mentor really will it's like the process of elimination. You're able to eliminate a lot of processes and wasted time
Mhm,
having that mentor. That's why it's super clutch. And I'm teaching my sons, my daughter, and the people around us that even through the podcast, that mentorship, grabbing a mentor. There's nothing wrong with having somebody that knows more than you. It's actually awesome. If
right,
you can find one at a young age, at an older age, do that. Whatever field you're trying to go into, it's always going to be somebody that has a little bit more nuggets and success and keys to where you trying to go to open those doors. So
mhm.
don't be shy to get a mentor. It's definitely a necessary thing to have in your arsenal.
And with that being said, always check people out before you check them off. You know what I mean? It's always things might not come in the form that you might think that it's supposed to be.
No,
So always give people a chance, listen to their
100%.
spill.
Yeah.
Don't waste your time. Don't make it to where you're stagnant, but just give people a shot. Cause sometimes a lot of people go off of the hype And I think that that's what blocks them from maybe getting that first great mentor the first time, because you're
Yeah.
worried about everybody else and who they feel. And you know
Yeah.
what I mean, you gotta kind of
Do,
feel
do
things out
your
for
due
yourself.
diligence.
Yeah,
Do your
yeah,
due
yeah.
diligence, and don't just write somebody off just because you're like, well,
Yeah, I don't see he don't got the Benzo.
yeah, he's not driving around in the Benz,
Right,
or
right,
where's his mansion at? Like,
right.
you don't write him off.
Yeah, yeah. In
Don't
fact,
write him or her off. Whoever it is, man, look, there's a lot of good
the people, yeah, there's a
out
lot of
there
good
that
people
are
out there.
able to give that knowledge,
You
man.
know
Like,
what?
it's
When you-
crazy.
And when you said that, the first thing I thought was, you ever watch the Gold Digger prank, Jones?
Oh, that
Dudes be out
Jones is
there-
funny.
Dudes be out there with no shoes on.
No
You know what I mean?
shoes.
And the girl dish them off. But
Yeah, and
really,
then they
he's
hop
an
in-
investor. you know
Yeah,
what I
then
mean?
they hop in that
Hop in the Lambo.
the Lambo, and she
Lambo
break her neck, turn
Yeah.
around.
Hear that, whoop, whoop.
oh,
You know what I mean?
Oh.
So yeah. So you know what I mean? It's definitely that's a valid point. You know what I mean? I think that making sure that you know what you want early kind of helps you to get that mentor early, because you see yourself going in a certain way that you're looking for somebody to help you. So
that's a fact, man. Like, you got, not everybody's gonna get it early.
Absolutely not.
I'm not gonna lie. I knew I wanted to lead something. I knew I wanted to be a boss. I knew I wanted to be a manager. I wanted to run my own. I just didn't know how to go about it. So trying to figure it out. If I had it figured out, and not everybody's gonna be able to figure it out like that early.
Mhm.
But if you are able to grab a mentor and not be, I wouldn't say, not, don't have the pride and say, oh no, I can still do this myself. No, the mentorship
Mm.
is a key way to success, especially if you're not going to college.
Right.
I
Right.
mean, you can invest in your mentor too. I mean, so it pay a little bit,
hmm
but sometimes you'll find a mentor that is not really worried about any of the money situation. But if you're willing to put some money and invest, you're investing in yourself, man. That's one thing you need to realize, is that you got to invest in yourself.
Yeah.
And it's going to take money.
Right. Right.
If you can get that free mentorship, that's awesome, and it's out there. But glad he made that key point that he found it a little bit later. I think he said, what, like 2 years ago, or no, he said like last year.
Mhm.
But he said it's really helped him in what he's doing now in business, man. Because the guy that is mentoring him, he's been through
He's
some
been doing
stuff,
it. Mhm.
and he's doing it. So
Right.
Jersey's taking heed to that, and that's real good point he made, man.
Right. And another thing, he has a friend, in Chad, as far as that, knows things that he doesn't know. So
Yeah.
that, to me, that's another key point. It's like
Super.
when you're out here and you're trying to make things work, you got to build those relationships, because you might not
100%.
have time to learn how to do the logistics on one side, but you can also help somebody grow practicing with your stuff.
Yeah, you gotta know. You gotta
know
know
what I
you're like
mean?
you're. All right, I'm weak here,
Right.
but I'm strong here. So if I'm weak here, I'm not gonna waste my time and try to
Learning
figure this
some
out
stuff, yeah.
when I know I got
A person.
a person that's
Right.
great at that.
Right.
So
Right.
why would I waste my time? And I know my energy is more focused on my strength
Or yeah, the
and
people.
make my strength
And-
stronger.
And Jersey said he was the people person. You know what I mean?
Yeah. So I
Chad
mean, he
was
said
more
Chad's a people
the-
person too, but
he's-
that's Jersey's strength.
That's his
Like,
strength.
is the people. So he
Right,
spoke
right.
about that, and that was an awesome point to make, because a lot of people do. I mean, I can say I'm one of them. I'll sit here and waste a lot of time on things that I probably shouldn't be doing, and just focus and not focus on my, like, the strength that I know I'm really good at,
Mhm.
but things I'm like, I want to get better at that.
Right.
That's why you build teams. Most successful people are the people who have
A team.
a team.
Yeah, and that's what I was gonna say. You
A team.
you gotta stay out the way.
Yeah,
what I
yeah.
mean?
If you,
I-
yeah, you don't know what you don't know.
Stay out
then
the way.
Let that person do it.
Let the person do them.
And
You
it's
know what I
like
mean?
real
And-
recognize real. And then
Right.
you start finding those people that, hey, your strength they need because they're weak at it.
Right.
You kind of complementing each other.
Right.
And that's the way teams work. And that's
Right.
the way, again, hate to say keep beating a dead horse, but
Mhm.
networking
Right.
and knowing that, oh man, he's really good at that, or she's really good at that. I don't have to waste my time.
Right.
Let's build that relationship with that person,
Right.
and we can grow together.
Right.
So
And
I'm glad he made that point.
And another point that he had also said that stuck out to me is that he kind of gives his workers like their freedom to be their own boss. I think
Yeah, he helps them.
working.
Helps other. He said a couple of them.
A
What
couple of them have their own thing going.
have their own moving companies now.
Yeah, I like that, and I brought that up because it's not a lot of jobs out there who kind of give you
Nah.
that freedom to.
Nah, they want to keep you down. You know
A
what
lot
I
of
mean?
people want to keep you in that same position
Same
because
spot.
they want to be the man.
Yeah,
You know what I
they don't
mean?
want you. They don't want you to climb the ladder.
Absolutely not.
They don't want you to be successful. But Jers has put other people. Jers, like you said in the interview, he makes it look easy, but it's not.
Right.
But he makes it look easy, so he helps other people start their own little moving
Right,
thing.
right.
That's strong. That's hard. That's what I love about that part of the business. If you can have your own business, you can put other people on to see them succeed. That is strong, man.
That was something to me that was special that stuck out. I mean, us being old
Definitely.
heads.
Yeah.
It wasn't. I mean, like I think that me and you didn't have that mindset of yo, we want to be.
Yeah.
Nobody would have gave us the opportunity.
Nah, not we didn't have too many of them around us, but that's not saying they weren't there. I
Right.
mean, we really didn't go looking for them.
Right.
Again, that mentorship
Mhm.
we kind of missed out on.
We lacked on that.
Now it's time to actually us do that for people. You know what I mean? Us
Right.
mentor the youngins on steer them the right way. And I would love to be a mentor. I mentored quite a few people that have surpassed me in management,
Mhm.
became managers.
Mhm.
But it's a strong thing to be able to do that. And through that, all I can say is that you got to keep your eyes open. You got to keep your eyes open and be aware of your surroundings. Self awareness is huge because you'll miss those opportunities if you don't. You know, you got to be self aware. Definitely.
Right. I'm about to wrap it up a little bit, but
Yeah.
one of the other thing that he said, well, he didn't really say it, but what I got out of it is that once you get your own business,
Yeah.
once you have that mindset of hey, this is what we're going to do, he still has that mindset of the next thing. And I think a lot
Yeah.
of
He wasn't staying
he wasn't
put.
stagnant
Yeah.
with just, hey man, I'm going to do this and this is going to be. He knew what he wanted to do.
Yeah.
I think that
Yeah.
he probably would have came up with 10 other things if you didn't say, yo, just give us one.
Right.
But,
Right.
you know,
His mind's always turning.
that's important, man.
It is.
Yeah,
You don't want to just say, all right, boom, I got this business running. You do want to get it to the point where it's successful running
Mhm.
and you don't have to spend a whole lot of time in it. So
Right.
you can move on to other ventures and businesses
Right,
because
right.
you want multiple streams of income.
Right.
That's the best way to go. So you're not locked in to like when you're stuck working for somebody, you're locked in. That's one income stream that if that job shut down, it's a wrap. Like
Mhm.
you didn't even own it.
Right,
Or if you wanted to be like, I just want to take a whole month off,
right,
can't. You still got to go to work. You're working for somebody.
right.
So that's the thing we've been working on for the past 2 decades,
Right.
trying to get out the working for somebody situation. And we're building. We're doing it small things at a time.
Mhm.
And at that sober up mindset, we're bringing other people on and we're learning from them, and
Right.
we're getting those nuggets out to people. And we'll do that throughout the season, especially this season too, on taking action on big things,
Right.
and looking at the success trail of people that are doing it now.
Right.
And hey, we want to bring that on in this season and recap it, talk about what they did, and again, continue to give them their flowers and continue to see us grow at the same time.
And to continue to highlight certain nuggets that they might say
Absolutely.
to me, because I think it's going to be a lot of similar things. There's going to be a lot of things that's not similar with this season. But I think it's going to be a lot key words that people are
A lot of
just
co-
gonna
a lot
bring
of
out.
core things that are in
Yeah.
those arsenals of the people that we actually bring on an interview.
Right.
You'll start seeing a lot of the same things.
Mhm.
And some paths are different because some of the things they're doing are different.
Mhm.
But a lot of core things that we also mentioned in season one
Mhm.
that their arsenal has in it.
Right.
And you'll continue to see that.
Mhm.
But the biggest thing, and especially with the Sober Up podcast, is it's a mindset thing.
Right.
And if you see a lot of the key ingredients that the people will bring on in season 2, you'll see mindset is the biggest process or biggest part of their process.
Right.
So hope you guys enjoy the Sober Up podcast. Hope you guys enjoyed the first season. Each episode is going to get better, different mindsets. But the big positive thing is that it's a positive mindset
Right.
and moving forward. But understanding that part and owning up to what we do at the Sober Up podcast it's a mindset thing, man. Get your mind right, baby.
Right.
Get your mind right.
That's the main thing, bro. And with that being said, the last thing that he didn't touch on this, but one thing that I kind of could get out of it was that with his mindset of the things that he wants to do in the future, he's saving his money. You know what I mean? He's saving his money.
Stacking.
He's he's preparing himself to maybe not needing too many investors with this one. Because I know that when you usually having people that invest, you kind of got to break them off too.
Oh yeah, of course.
So I believe that when you get a business, the key would be to save your money so that your next business that you really might be your baby.
Yeah. I mean, you really putting if you once you're making that money, if you're running a business, I definitely think they're putting money, investing back into their business to grow it,
right?
Or again, grow it into another business.
Facts. And I think that you just gotta do the right thing with your gains. He said that he had bad days, but when his phone rang and one of those contracts come through,
it turns into a good one.
It turns into a good one.
And he said that. He said you gotta take the L's.
You gotta take the L's.
But when that phone call and that you close that contract deal,
it gets better.
It takes those losses out, takes those lessons. You know what I mean? Because again, I don't ever like taking losses. We taking lessons. So, and you could see Jerry spoke a lot about that in the podcast about like even in between the podcast, he was taking those calls that lessons he learned. You got to choose the right people for the job, and it kind of sets you back a little bit. But once he closes the deal and that bread comes through, ching ching, hey, you're winning. You're back and winning. So I mean, that's one thing I did take from that good nuggets that people can kind of learn from and know that it's not an easy path in entrepreneurship.
Right.
But it's the path that you choose to take, and you have to understand bumps and bruises is going to happen, but it's going to be wins.
Right.
And then those days you're going to feel good, especially he even made a point. He said, at one point, I wanted to go back to go get a job, but he said, nah, you know what?
Hang in there.
He's hanging in there, and it's paying off, man.
Yeah, so, I mean.
With that recap, that was a good recap. I like that. It brought out a lot of points that we didn't get. It was a shorter episode. We had time crunch last week, but it doesn't stop us from making a podcast. But we wanted to recap, and we'll do that probably. I think we'll do it out throughout the season. We'll interview, and then we'll kind of recap the episode just to get what we got from it and share out the nuggets again. It only makes sense because sometimes we miss things, but we want to kind of look at the podcast, listen to it a little bit, and be like, no, let's stretch out what we heard from it and make sure the nuggets were actually put out there. And he did a lot of good nuggets.
And make it make sense for you guys. Because, I mean, a lot of people got other things going on. I know people might be listening to it while they're at work. You know what I mean? Might be certain things that you might not hear, but certain things that we hear that we feel as though is important, we're definitely going to highlight it so that you guys don't miss anything. Once again, really appreciate all the listeners.
Definitely sticking with us as we grow. Yeah, I mean, we're growing. Every podcast. Hey, I didn't say it in the beginning. I forgot to say it, but we consistent. We are consistent. We record and we drop every Wednesday, and we can't stop, won't stop, not gonna stop. We're gonna keep it pushing, man. We're gonna keep on growing. The Sober Up Podcast is about that, and we're gonna continue growing into the 2024 nonstop, man. Every Wednesday, you'll hear this, and we plan to just get bigger and bigger and spread. We know it's not gonna be a overnight success, but the consistency, baby, it breeds success, and we're gonna keep it happening. So I want to thank all y'all listeners.
Great episode.
Until next time,
we love y'all.
We love everybody, man. Keep it pushing.
Get through this week.
Let's go.
I'm a winner. I go the distance. They might hate. I know they smell me. I'm an incense. Real aggressive. Every conversation intense. Always in possession. My